when you get back more function in your wrist and your hand, you're more likely to be using your elbow and your shoulder. And so you'll get that kind of snowball effect of improvements that go up the kinematic chain. And so those things are secondary consequences that do emerge that we saw in the clinical trials.
Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Nick Halsey with Motus Nova. I'm a licensed neurophysical therapist and neuroscientist helping brain injury survivors understand how to make functional gains after their injury. I hope this video helps you in your recovery.
Yeah, so I think one of the reasons why I wanted this assessment, because focusing on the games, maybe I will be doing something else and just leaving the motor sound to do the job for me. I wanted to exactly have your opinion on what to do. Now you have said you have to do discard every other thing, just focus on this. Right?
Exactly, yeah. I'm really glad you brought that up. It's not a hard thing to acknowledge. And it means, well, first of all, I mean, it's good that you're doing this, right? You're questioning this. And I think having this conversation is really, really powerful because we need to remember that we need to be engaged in these exercises. And so I'm really glad that you brought that up and we can chat about this. And so I think, yeah, we did a lot. We answered that question. We made sure that your stretching exercises are going to get you the range of motion we want. And I made some modifications to make sure that it's personalized for you. So I think we did a reasonable job today. Any other questions for me?
Yeah, my major concern was really when I tried to do extension, it goes into flexion. I was a little bit worried about that, and I just wanted to know also how can this help with the tone in the ankle? I'm sorry, in the elbow and in the shoulder.
Yeah.
What is the relationship there?
Yeah, so tone, well, you mentioned tone in your wrist too, and I think it's much more directly applicable to tone in your wrist. Now, when you get back more function in your wrist and your hand, you're more likely to be using your elbow and your shoulder. And so you'll get that kind of snowball effect of improvements that go up the kinematic chain. And so those things are secondary consequences that do emerge that we saw in the clinical trials. So those things will hopefully come secondary to these improvements that you're seeing in the wrist and the hand.
Okay.
Excellent. Good.
And so realistically, after all of these assessments, and I've been on this for a month, but not doing it correctly, I would say. And when do you realistically start seeing like improvements? And
sure. Yeah, the big thing here is with respect to time frames, it is variable across individuals, and so it's going to be impossible for anyone to say that any person is going to see improvements at this point. But what I can say is from the clinical trials, those were around 3 months or 100 days. And we saw those improvements at about that time frame. Some people improved quicker, some people improved a little bit slower than that. And I think when we scale it up to the number of people that we're working with now, those trends still hold true. And so people can still improve even beyond 3 months. And there are individuals who are 10 months or more who are using the Motus hand and still seeing improvements. And so I think that can very much range. But I think you're exactly right. We need to make sure that we're using it appropriately and getting the most out of it. And then generally along those like kind of 3 month ranges, we'll be starting to see those types of improvements.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Great. Okay. Well, I got notes of these values, and so whenever we work together in the future, in the next week or so, we'll be sure to reference these and see how things are going. Okay.
Yeah. So can I go into the setting and adjust the setting, or you set it and I leave it until we meet again, or well, how does that work?
Yeah. So there's going to be a version of some update in the background. So you shouldn't really have to do much updating. If something suddenly goes very, very strange, reach out to us and we'll make adjustments. But there shouldn't have to be many changes on your end that you have to manually do.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Great. Okie dokie. Well, it's so good to hear from you, and thanks for the questions.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm getting addicted to this, and I just want to do it correctly, so I'll get the best result out of this.
Yeah, you and I are in the same boat, same team. So I'm glad we could have this conversation.
Yeah. So can I drop the call? I'm going to work.
Yeah, you can. You can. Yes. Okay, alrighty.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching this video. If you have questions or would like to speak with me about how you can make functional gains from home, call or text me at 404-939-3476 or visit motusnova.com/contact.